What's poppin', what's poppin'? So a girl came to rant, communicate, conversate, whatever you like to call it. And today it's a little dark out because it is around nighttime, 7:30. So it's gonna be a little bit dark in this video. But I came on here to talk about, am I wrong? Am I wrong for not caring or not feeling bad for somebody? And let me put this in. Let me tell y'all a story so you can get the perspective of this, okay? So, at the moment right now, my grandmother is in the hospital. Come to find out, she's having many strokes and many heart attacks. She has blood clots all in her body, in her system. And come to find out, there is a blood clot that is in her heart system, somewhere in her artery by her heart or whatever. So she's not doing well, and not only that, she was on dialysis before this, okay? And not too long ago, she had a stroke, or supposedly she had a stroke, to where everybody in the family got called and went down to the hospital, okay? And I went there myself because I thought she was on her deathbed. I thought she was like taking her last breath. But for those of you that do not know, a couple years back when I was young and I was going through a lot of shit, and my grandma was my rock. She was my person, even though we barely talked or barely interacted with each other, she was my person. She she didn't want to admit it, but shit, I felt like I was her favorite person. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was her favorite granddaughter, should I say, because I was always there with her. Not saying that her other grandkids weren't with her. It's just I was mostly there with her especially when I was younger, because my mama always dropped me off there and I always stayed there, and I was always there with my grandma. And there were times where I was there when she had some serious things that happened to her. When I was younger, she had something happen to her where her eyeball came out her socket. Yes, her literal eyeball came out of her socket. And I was there, I was spending the night there. And luckily luckily my uncle was there too, He lived in literally the apartment next door. So my grandma literally went over there and knocked on his door and basically telling him like, hey, like, then my eyeballs out of my head. I need to go to the hospital. Something's wrong. He comes in the room, like he comes back to her apartment where I was, and my grandma, after this happened, my grandma told me she forgot that I was there, and understandable, because I'm a little child. What can I possibly do, right? But let's be honest with you, I was someone, like, I was there for a reason. If you know, everything happens for a reason. And I was there by the grace of God. I was there because my uncle was panicking. He didn't know what to do. What should I do? What should I do? And I was telling him, call 911. Call 911. And I told my grandma to sit down because she was standing up. But once she sat down, her eyes started bleeding. But thankfully, I got them situated to where I was like, call 911, relax, it's gonna be okay, we got this. Even though I was the youngest one there, not even gonna hold you, I was still, I think I was in elementary school at the time during this happened, so it was chaotic. But yeah. And not only that, I was just young. But back to the story at hand, I was like I said, she's in the hospital basically fighting for her life, fighting for survival. And I'm just here, you know? And like I said, back when a couple of years back, I was minding my business or going through something in life, and something happened to where she had did something to my sister. And I would ask her a question like, what happened? Like, why would you do that to my sister? And out of the blue, she called me a bitch and told me to lose her number and not to talk to her again, and hung up on me. And when I tell you, it really took me back, because it's like, first off, why the hell would you do that to me? Out of all your motherfucking grandkids, out of me, like, I was never a bad grandkid. I was never the one that did anything wrong. I was just always there for you, supporting you, doing whatever, because I was just kind and caring. You know, I followed in your footsteps. I seen how you supported people and took care of people and all that. So I was just like, shit, I want to be like you. And then you come out the blue, out the woodworks, when I asked you a simple question: why'd you do that to my sisters? You know, because that hurt. I'm pretty sure what she said to my sister hurt my sister. Because my sister, yeah, my sister is not the best, but she's doing the best she can, especially when she has kids. She's young and she has kids. So it's just like, it took me back. And the fact that she called me a bitch and told me to lose her number just off that one thing, it broke me. Especially during the time that it happened. I was going through so much. I was mentally going through so much. I was over here suicidal and everything. I was over here trying to keep myself together. And not only that, I was over here going through it with my fucking job, my fucking friends, my fucking housing, my fucking family, every fucking thing. And it just took me, you know. And the fact that you came out the woodworks and did that because I simply asked the question, it broke me, you know. It truly broke me. And that day, I'm not gonna hold you, I felt like I lost my grandma. I felt like she died. I felt like the woman that I knew died. The woman that I knew shattered. The woman that I knew that was my grandma was no longer alive. And I had to mourn her. You guys just don't understand. Yes, she was still alive, but for those that understand, they get it. But those that don't, that means you never had to let go of somebody that was still alive. You know what I'm saying? Someone that you truly loved and cared for. You didn't have to let them go when they were still alive, when they were still in your grasp, where you can still hug them and hold them and appreciate them. But at the same time, you couldn't, because they did you so wrong. They did you so foul that it just, if you went back, you would basically be betraying yourself, destroying yourself, putting yourself back into a situation that you know damn well you shouldn't be in. So I was heartbroken. I mourned her. I I I truly mourned her, and I didn't talk to her. I didn't call her, no nothing. She didn't say she apologized, no nothing. But don't get me wrong, I did forgive her, because at the end of the day, she was getting old. She was getting up there, and she wasn't. I guess I wasn't the only person that she called a bitch, but that was the first time and the last time, because I was not going to allow her to do that shit to me. You knew I was the best motherfucking person that could be in your life. Someone that you called upon. If you needed me, I would be there. If you wanted something from me, if I could give it to you, I would do it. And the fact that you did that to me, it broke me. So I stopped talking to her. I did what she said. I didn't call her after that. I didn't say nothing to her after that. I let her be. I let her be. And I mourned my grandma, and I went on by my life. And my mama and my family was like, well, you shouldn't be, it's just your grandma, this and it, basically giving her excuses after excuses after excuses after excuses. If she really fucking cared, if she really cared about what the fuck she did, she would literally come and tell me, I apologize for what I did. First off, she's the adult in this situation, and you over here coming to do this shit to me, I'm a young fucking child. Not only that, I just turned fucking 21? If I was even 21 at the time, I was fucking 20. And then you came and you do this shit to me, and then you tried to, please. I just didn't listen to my family. I was like, fuck that shit. If she really cared, if she really was sorry, if she really apologized, she knew where the fuck I live. She knew my number. She knew how to get in contact with me. But instead, she didn't. And it went on for years. And like I said, not too long ago, she had got sent to the hospital. And I guess she had a stroke or whatever. And I went there, and I was seeing there, and I was there, and I was sitting there looking at her. And I didn't feel no type of way. I was just there with her. And I asked her, are you on your deathbed? And she looked at me. She said, I knew you would come. I knew you would come. And it just took me like, of course, why wouldn't I come? You're my fucking grandma. In my head, I'm just sitting there like, why wouldn't I? But now, as she's getting worse and she's back in the hospital and she's breaking down and they don't know what the fuck is going on with her and she has this fucking blood clots and everything, it's just taking me back. And I'm just sitting here like, am I wrong? Am I wrong for not caring? Am I wrong for not feeling bad? Am I wrong for not even putting my motherfucking emotions and putting my feelings to the side and going to support her? Am I wrong for that? And at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know how to feel. Because I love her. Of course, she's always going to be my grandma. But at the same time, it's how can I put myself in that predicament? And when I see you, every time I see you, all I can see is you calling me a bitch and telling me to lose your number. And I get it. I should forgive and forget and all that shit. But don't get me wrong. Like I said, I forgave her. But I will never forget that time when she left me out to fucking die. Even though it wasn't physically dying, she left me out for dead. So am I wrong? Am I wrong for not caring? Am I wrong for pushing my feelings aside and wanting to go drop everything to go fucking support her? Am I wrong for not doing that? All I know is I am just praying that whatever happens to her, I will be able to handle it. I tell myself every time she goes to the hospital, I'll be fine. I'll be okay. I'll be cool. But will I really? Will I really be okay? Will I really be cool? Will I really be fine with watching my motherfucking grandma die a second time? But, that's it, y'all. That's it. I can't. That's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to ask. Am I wrong for not giving her the time of day because of everything that happened to me? Am I wrong for letting her be in the hospital with the rest of my family and not me? Am I wrong for not going to support her when I needed her, she didn't support me? But yeah, that's it. I'm finna, I guess, sit here for a little bit and release this energy and walk back home. But that's about it. Like I said, and thank you for listening to me. Peace out, y'all.